Okay, so you got the job offer. Well done, you. Next step is to negotiate your package. Now, that might fill you with dread. And if it does, don't worry, because that's what this video is all about, empowering and equipping you to really negotiate and get what you want. So if you remember in an earlier video, we looked at some research techniques that will allow you to gauge what the salary bracket is for roles of a similar nature. So the first thing you want to think about, you most likely discuss with your employer as part of that offer is salary. Now, they may have attached a salary as part of the job offer, or they may well be asking you what your salary expectations are. Now, if it's the latter, remember the research technique that we talked about in one of our earlier videos. So just jump online and research roles of a similar ilk and also in a similar area as well, and see what they come up with salary-wise, because that's kind of like a bracket that you want to work with. The second point is you want to think about, how much do I want to earn? Now, more often people just look at what they need to earn in order to pay their bills and maybe have a little bit to go on holiday. I want to challenge you to add an extra 10% on that. And I say that extra 10% because that's what you're saving every month towards your walkaway fund. And your walkaway fund is essentially, it allows you to be able to pay your bills for 3, 6 months to a year, the more you build it up, without having to worry about your job or being in a particular situation. You are financially secure and able to make different choices. So if, for example, the employer has offered you a salary that's below your bracket, and I'm talking about your personal bracket, so this is what you need to earn plus your 10%. If it's below, then ask them about other benefits. So think about, maybe, do they offer training and development? Do they offer flexible working? Are there other aspects of the role that you know that actually, yes, it might not be at the top end of my salary bracket, but the training and development actually makes it worth considering? So ask those questions too. And also, if you're thinking about that, actually, I want to ask for more, that there are additional benefits, but still the salary bracket is too low, then in that sense, we're going to start looking at anchoring. So anchoring is the process where you put in, and I always say it's a ridiculous offer. It's a ridiculous price. It's a ridiculous ask, should I say. And by that, I mean, you ask for more than what you need. So often people will just ask for what they need, and that's it. Now, I, on the receiving end, I know what my budget is. So if you ask for lower than my budget, I'm going to give you what you've asked for, and I will save the rest for something else. So if you ask for more than what's in my budget, I'm going to say, well, that's more than what we were expecting for a salary for a role at this level. And at that point, you can ask the question, what were you expecting? What is your budget? And then you can start to have the negotiation, because people will rarely go above your anchor, but they will come down and below it. So don't be afraid to get in there first with your offer, because that first offer is the foundation. It's kind of like you're laying the gauntlet. But be brave, be bold, and just ask for 10%, ask for 20% more, ask for something ridiculous that you feel comfortable, and you know it's silly, and you know it's going to get knocked back, but at least you'll start to open a discussion around money, which is ultimately what you want to do. And remember, when you're in that negotiation space, it is an opportunity for you to remind the employer of the skills and experiences that you're bringing to the table, because they've offered you the job, they want you, they've chosen you. So it's that reminder. And always be polite and professional, and it's not about being forceful and demanding. There are ways in which you can assert yourself that ensure that you get what you want, but you also acknowledge where that business is in that particular stage. So for example, if they're like, we would really love to increase the salary, but at the moment this is the budget that we have, you might talk again around the additional benefits. So for example, for you, if you want to get more training within a certain period of time, you might ask about that training course, whether they'd be able to provide that for you at their cost. You may also ask when the salary could be reviewed. So you might accept, for example, a lower salary for your probationary period, and then ask for it to be increased. And I would, when you're doing things like that, is to really set some benchmarks, like what would I need to have achieved to get this salary increase, and by when. And when you do that, it means that you're all on the same page. So when you have that meeting to review your progress, you've got some clear KPIs or key performance indicators that you're measuring your progress against. But you know, it's an ongoing discussion because nothing is final. When it comes to negotiating, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because negotiating is going to be part and parcel of the development of your career, because your promotion essentially starts from day one. And if you're somebody who wants to progress in a career, you're going to have to negotiate your way at key points during your journey. So getting used to it now, or getting comfortable being uncomfortable with having those discussions around money, around opportunities, is just part and parcel of developing a career that you will enjoy, because you are effectively the CEO of Me PLC. And you want to make sure that as the CEO, you're getting the right benefits, the right level of income to help you grow as an individual and as a business. And your employer is just one part of that process. Now, there's no doubt about it that confidence is going to play an important part in the negotiating process. And there's a great course in here by Chloe called the Confidence Toolkit. So do watch that and start to apply some of those techniques to your negotiation process. Confidence can be built by just keeping those little promises that you keep to yourself. So start doing that now. And those are teeny little promises. If you say you're going to get up at a certain time, get up and give yourself a pat on the back for doing that, because this builds your self-esteem and your self-worth. It means that you will ask for what you want. And that's all that you're required to do when you're talking about negotiation, is just asking for what you want. And you have a right to ask for what you want. And secondly, is to remember this is just a conversation, right? The employer has offered you the job because they see you as being a solution to the problem that business is experiencing at that time. So it's really important that you see yourself too as a solution to their problem. That doesn't mean you're being arrogant. It just means that actually get that self-worth. It's that self-value. It's like, I'm bringing something to the table that this employer really values. So if you're feeling a little bit wobbly, you need to just look in the mirror and tell yourself that you are adding value. And that's where you're coming from, that place of value added. And keep the conversations polite, because you're talking to people, and ask them what their drivers are too, what would work from them, because it's all about finding that medium, that happy medium, that equal balance between the two of you. What you have to remember is that you've got the job offer. And by offering you the job, the employer sees you as being a solution to their problem. They see your skills and experiences as being of value to that business. So you now need to see yourself in the same way the employer sees you, and negotiate from that point of adding value, that point of being able to make an impact and be a solution to that business's problem.